Hello everyone, my name is Nilsor and welcome to my vault. Today on Fallout New Vegas 101 we are going to start the Honest Hearts DLC with the history of Zion Canyon. Zion Canyon is a place located north of New Vegas and south of what used to be Utah. Relatively spared by the Great War, it remained a mostly unspoiled wilderness even until today in 2281. 4 tribes are living in it: the Dead Horses, the Sorrows, the Tar Walkers, and the Crazy Horns, all living from hunting and gathering while avoiding to come close of supposedly cursed old-world buildings. The only notable activity from outsiders are some caravans passing through the canyon to head north. Zion Canyon remained a mostly peaceful region for a long time, although it was troubled when a man named Joshua Grahams came and tried to enroll the Dead Horses into Caesar's legion. Grahams came from the city of New Canaan, an important trading hub inhabited by people still following one of the old world religion, the Mormons. Co-founder of Caesar's legion, Grahams was infamously reputed as being the perpetrator of numerous horrible deeds to install the fear of Caesar in everyone crossing his path. Made legate, Caesar's legion army senior commanding officer, he was the one responsible for the legion crushing defeat during the first Battle of Hoover Dam in 2277. To set him as an example and to punish him of his failure, Caesar made Grahams covered in pitch, set on fire, and thrown into the Grand Canyon. He miraculously survived, although this new baptism of salt had a deep impact on him. Joshua reflected on his life and his mistakes, which had the effect of rekindling his faith and casting aside his pride and vanity. He ventured back north to finally arrive at New Canaan after 3 weeks of agonizing travels. There, his former people took him back and nursed him back to health, forgiving whatever sins he had committed. Joshua's bandages covering his burn wounds needed to be changed daily up until today. From this, Joshua became a legend known as the Burn Man. A legend especially known from people within the Legion who are not authorized to talk about him. After all, how would that reflect if someone who had failed Caesar remained alive even after being punished? In the meantime, a warrior-minded tribe called the Whitelegs, who lived in the area around Salt Lake City, petitioned to join the Legion. Living off of pillaging others, they thought Caesar's legion would be a nice fit for them. Caesar sent one of his frumentary, Ulysses, to train the tribe. They were tasked to prove their worth later on by being ordered to destroy New Canaan and hopefully kill Joshua in the process. Their leader, Salt Upon Wounds, was excited by the prospect. Their attack was a success, the city was burned to the ground and the earth was salted. Fortunately, Joshua survived as well as about 30 other people. They all quickly fled to Zion Canyon for refuge. There, Joshua came back to the Dead Horses and became their war chief by showing them how to fight efficiently and started planning against the Whitelegs. Daniel, another Mormon survivor, settled with the Sorrows, a peaceful tribe living by hunting and herding. He tried to convert them to his religion and it sort of worked, even though the tribe actually mixed his beliefs with their own, which was a religion based around the mysterious benevolent god figure of the Father in the Cave. Nevertheless, the Whitelegs were quick to follow and came into Zion Canyon, wiping out the Tar Walkers and Crazy Horns tribes in their research for Joshua. Daniel felt guilty to have brought such destruction to Zion Canyon and felt that the only way the Sorrows were to survive was by fleeing their home to a place where the Whitelegs would never follow. This pacifist approach was mainly fueled by his desire to avoid having the Sorrows becoming more war-minded. Joshua, on the other hand, was more determined than ever that the Whitelegs needed to be beat down, both as an act of vengeance for New Canaan, as well as finding redemption for his past crimes by protecting Zion Canyon against the legion he had created. When you're exploring Zion Canyon, you might going to come across notes left behind by someone who lived here a long time ago. His name was Randall Clark, a former American soldier who used to be stationed in Canada during its annexation. While he was driving back home to Salt Lake City after one of his solitary hikes, the Great War occurred on October 23, 2077. The 24-year-old was far away enough to avoid being blasted out by any nuclear bombs, but his wife Charlotte and son Alex were at home. Randall felt deeply guilty of not having been with them when the apocalypse happened. While searching for a cave to take refuge in, he came across an old couple who were blinded by the nuclear explosions. He killed them both mercifully with one bullet from his rifle he had taken with him and wondered if he should do the same for himself. Nevertheless, he stumbled upon a cave packed with supplies, including food and water, from the USGS, the US Geological Survey. This stock allowed him to stay in the cave for months until the outside radiation's level went down. Then he started gathering food from outside and setting up his cave for a prolonged stay. In 2084, he went back to Salt Lake City, trying to get closure and maybe bury his family. He actually was never even able to find the street he lived in through the rubbles. On the way back to Zion Canyon, Randall was wondering more and more why he was still around. Near the end of 2095, a group of Hispanic survivors came to Zion seeking refuge. Compassion for them slowly rose in him. Randall started helping them while keeping his presence unknown, like when he left medicine for a man who had broken his leg and imitated his scream to alert the others that he needed help. A few months went by before a group of vault dwellers from Vault 22 came into Zion, some contaminated by the vault's mind-altering toxic spores. When they encountered the Hispanic group, they killed most of them and captured women and children. Before Randall could save them, the vault dwellers ate them. He then went on a vengeful path and killed slowly but surely a total of 84 out of the 180 vault dwellers that came. Early 2097, they ultimately left Zion for good. During their withdrawal, one of them, named Sylvie, was stuck in a bear trap while she was running away from the others, who she considered being evil and less than respectful, to say the least, towards women. Randall rescued her, nursed her back to health, and became fond of her. They both fell in love. By 2100, she got pregnant. Randall was terrified to bring a life into this world under these circumstances, but he felt even more guilty to have done it with someone else than his wife Charlotte, hoping she could forgive him, even though she's been gone for 23 years. The delivery happened in March 2101, and it didn't go well. The baby came from the rear, and despite Randall trying a cesarean section, his son Michael died before he was even born. To add to that, Sylvie took chems to help go through the pain of the operation, but she never woke up from it. Needless to say that after he buried them, Randall was on the verge of ending his own life once more, although he still didn't. In 2108, he thought he was becoming crazy after he saw feral ghouls through his scope. They charged at him in a frenzy but were quickly put down. By 2113 and his 60th birthday, Randall's survivor's guilt increased worse and worse, cursing himself of having outlasted both his families but was never able to end his life. In April 2123, a group of 24 children came into Zion and settled where the Hispanic group used to live. Randall watched over them, helped them stealthily by leaving them books, supplies, and personal messages, encouraging them to help each other and only use violence in self-defense. To them, he became a sort of fatherly, godlike figure. These children were the ancestors of the current Soros tribe. By the end of 2133, Randall started developing symptoms of a lung disease. Wishing to avoid the children finding his body, which will shatter the vision they had of him, he left them a last message telling them that he will be silent in the future, but will still be watching and still be caring. In January 2124, nearing his end at almost 71 years old, Randall went up the Red Gate, a place where the children would be unlikely to find his body, and allowed himself to die of cold exposure, looking up into the sky during his final moments. He attributed his long years of survival as a result of him not wanting to let his loved ones go. Their memories in his mind being the best and only life he could have provided them with. At the end of his life, the children and the innocence that they represented were a gift to him after all the troubles he endured in Zion. He bid farewell to the place one last time before drawing his final breath. On the next video, we are going to talk about the first quest dealing with your arrival in Zion and the Dead Horses tribe. Thank you for watching, and see you later.